Welcome to Talking Voiceovers with me, Gail Goslin, where we interview South Africa's voiceover professionals. Today we'll be talking to Rob Chalmers of Intertalent Voice Agency. Hi Rob, thank you for joining us.
Hi.
So tell us, Intertalent's been around for many years. What is the story? How did it all begin?
My gran actually started the company in 1979. So how that all came about is my grandfather, his agent was needing a bit of help. My gran went to go assist them, and then they sold their company, and the artists really liked working with my gran, so they suggested start your own agency, and that's what she did. And then my mom basically joined in with my gran, and now in the last couple of years, I've joined in to help my mom.
Wow, really a family business. So why focus on voice talent?
So it's not really our main focus. We do everything. All agents sort of have their speciality, and we sort of fell into voice work just by coincidence. So we do still do all the other stuff that the agent does, but voice work we sort of fell backwards into, and it's really been our niche, and we've done our best with it.
Right. How many talent have you got signed up?
We've got over 180 artists on our books, so that's across our on-camera as well as voice work. But yeah, 180 strong at the moment.
And are they all in Joburg or all over the country?
All over the world. We don't just represent artists South African based. We represent artists in the UK, in the US, but obviously predominantly South Africa, but all over South Africa. With the way the world works now, and a positive we've taken out of COVID is that artists can voice work from anywhere. If you've got a microphone, you've got a setup, you can literally do voice work from anywhere.
Or the worst case scenario, they can find a studio nearby.
Correct.
Do you cater for all the 11 languages of South Africa?
I think we've got all of them on our books. We might bar a couple, but we do have pretty much every language in South Africa. We get briefs, not so much for all of them, but when we do get a brief, we can cater.
Okay, so how do you decide to hire a talent? What do you look for in a talent signed to your books?
Technically, the artist hires us. We will have a sort of capacity as to what we can professionally look after. So signing on an artist, we listen to the demos, and then we sort of make a decision from there on if we would like to represent that artist.
So if somebody sends you a demo by email, do you have time to listen to all of them?
So we listen to all demos that come through to us. We give ourselves about 7 days because we get quite a couple. So we get back to everybody who sends us a demo. We listen to everything. We can generally tell within the first 30 seconds of a demo if it's an artist we would like to represent.
And do you prefer demos that have got just the voice or music or a full-on video?
We don't really have a preference on that. Any voice demos, preferably more than one, because then we can see some depth and some range in what the artist can do. And yeah, we'll listen to sort of anything that gets into show reels as well for actors and actresses. We'll watch them, and generally within a 60-second sort of time frame, we know exactly where to go. When it comes to demos, variety is key. If you're sending 5 voice demos of the same delivery style, it doesn't really give us that scope of where we can sort of send your voice to clients. You're sort of stuck in a middle genre, and we will always ask artists to give us some diversity in their demos, and I think that is essential to being busy as a voiceover artist.
Right, because if they've only got one genre, they can only land the jobs that go with that one genre.
Correct.
And I'm hearing from what you're saying that it's not quantity that's key, but quality.
Correct. So diversity is as broad as you can possibly go, and just crispy, golden voice that people will have, and just let it go. Just be the voiceover artist.
Once a talent is signed up, can they just sit back and wait for jobs to come in for them?
No. It's a symbiotic relationship. We all need to sort of work together for what, the end goal. So an artist that signs with us and then sits back and relaxes, they're not working on their craft to sort of go forward, to sort of get their names out there as well. There's so much marketing we can do for the artist. And after that, they're the face of their brand.
Okay, so if they are the face of their brand and they land a job independently that you didn't send to them, do they then have to contact you and you do the deal for them?
Again, that's where the sort of faith-based comes in. If the artist isn't communicating that stuff with us, it sort of can throw us in a loop if there's a job that does come to us. It could be competing brands, or there could be exclusivity from a previous job. So it's really faith-based and saying, we don't want you to be undercut as well. So we follow the industry standard rate. And if an artist sort of takes a job by themselves, they could be undercutting themselves as well. So it's all a sort of faith-based, we helping each other at the end of the day.
Right. So you're actually there to help them out.
Correct. That's why an artist has an agent. To don't sweat about the invoicing. Don't sweat about the day-to-day runnings of your craft. Just be the voiceover artist. Go in there and kill it.
But you still have to market yourself on the side.
So 100%, you can't just rest on being on our website. The sort of relationship in studio that artists start building up with producers and, all the background stuff, that is where the artists need to sort of take control. They are the face of their brand. We just look after the back end.
So walk us through the process of hiring a talent for a client's project.
Okay, so we'll be sent a brief by the client. We will then basically send all our voices that fit that brief. So we won't send, unless they ask for someone specific, we won't send just one artist for a brief. Every artist that sort of fills that brief, we then basically send that to the client. The client then makes a decision on which one of those voices they want to go with.
And that's it.
That's pretty
quite
much
simple.
That's pretty much it.
And then does the client then ask for auditions, or do they just work off the demos?
So sometimes there are auditions. Then what we'll do is we'll ask the artist to record that demo, a sort of free demo, so that not the whole script, but a portion of the script, just so that they can get a feel for the voice and see if that's the right fit for that project.
Okay, so there's a bit of a short list then, just to be sure.
Yeah. But that does happen sometimes, very rarely, as most clients, will be able to pick up from other work that the artists have done when we send demos. But when those audition things do come around, we will basically just get the artist to record a demo, send that off to clients, and then they make the decision from there.
And then you handle the whole following up with the clients on the fees and all that.
Yeah, the fun part. We invoice the client. We make sure that we get the artists their money within our terms of payment. So we make sure that we're getting that money back as quick as we can for the art.
And how has it been with the pandemic recently? Do you find that talent are recording more from home than in studio?
A lot more. It seems almost as if it was a sort of gift during the pandemic for artists who had the resources to record from home, because there was no going to studio and there's still these things recorded. So, the artists who had the facilities for a home studio really did see not a complete downturn like the rest of us with the pandemic.
Is it better now? Has it come back?
It's on its way. It's on its way back up. We flat out, really busy, so that's good. So that's very, very good.
That's brilliant. Do you find the same for on-screen actors as well as audio voice actors?
With the on-camera stuff, the COVID protocols are a lot harsher than a studio protocol. So, with the on-camera stuff, there's a lot of casting. Artists have to go to the casting, and it's a much lengthier process than the voice work.
Another question, do you only do commercials, or do you also hire talent for audiobooks and e-learning and training and things like that?
So we get those briefs as well, and we would then submit, again, exactly the same sort of scenario. It would also tie in with the demos that we could get recorded for auditions. We do have artists who have done audiobooks, have done e-learning stuff. So everything voice related falls in our wheelhouse, and we try our best.
I suppose it helps then to have so many artists on your books if you have got so many genres that you deal with.
Yeah, and it's also it's very diverse through our books as well. So if there's a project that needs a voice, we've got a voice for it.
What is your relationship with the talent on your books? Are they just names on the list, or are you closely involved in their career paths, such as do you guide them with their training that they might need to get, or what roles would be better suited to their skills, things like that?
We look at Intertalent as a giant family. So, no one's just a name on a list. If an artist comes to us and says, what could I do better? We will guide them, say maybe get some new demos recorded, maybe try some different delivery styles so you can fill into more briefs. And just, it's one big family. We don't just have specific people that are our basket. Everybody is Intertalent's family.
And do you have a list of coaches that you send people to?
So we generally send people to the South African Voiceover Academy, especially if it's an artist that I think has potential, but not yet ready to go on our books. We'll send them through to the South African Voiceover Academy and, just say to them, get some formal training, learn some mic technique, learn about different delivery styles and sort of, expand your range as an artist.
So you would say that getting formal coaching is definitely a necessity?
I wouldn't say necessity because we have a lot of good voiceover artists in this country with unbelievable raw talent. So it's not a necessity. It's not a necessity to be signed up on our book, but it definitely helps, especially with your distance from the mic, what deliveries you can really put out. So it is definitely not a must, but it definitely helps.
What is your advice for new and aspiring talent?
Work on your craft. Don't just rest on the fact that your voice sounds like silk. Work on it, understand your different delivery styles, understand how to take direction during a recording. We can all, just talking isn't enough. Voice work, you are telling a story for an audience to be captivated. That's why your voice is there. So it's not just about being crispy and golden. There's a lot more to pushing the envelope of being a voiceover artist that could captivate an audience. And that is the goal.
And you find that clients appreciate that kind of skill more?
100%. It goes hand in hand, with any other job, you have to be professional. As a voiceover artist, it's your job to relay what somebody has put on paper onto a recording. So you can read the words, but you need to make the words mean something. As a voiceover artist, that is your number one goal.
As an agent, what would you say to a talent to not do?
Don't be late for your recordings. If you are going to be late, let us know. We can get it onto clients. As with any job, just be professional. I think that's the most important thing, is just be the best that you can be, because it's the reflection on Intertalent as well. Because again, they are the face of their brand as well as our brand.
Are you enjoying this interview? Quick, give it a thumbs up.
A nice new space in the South African context of being an artist is social media is making its rise as well. We're starting to climb a lot faster through social media, and it's starting to not replace but join traditional media outlets for advertising. And that is also where we are trying to position ourselves at the moment as Intertalent. We want to look after influencers and show them their work, because I think there's a lot of situation where our local influencers are sort of getting taken for a ride a bit because they don't know the landscape and how things operate within the space. So, we're still in our infancy stage of South Africa being with a sort of social media rise, but it is going to be very important at some stage for artists to be represented, to not be taken advantage of.
So are you saying that you represent influencers as well?
We're basically ready to represent influencers. It's just about influencers coming on our books and the whole industry understanding that we need to channel it through an agent rather than just DM the influencer and say, this is the opportunity.
If somebody wants to ask you questions, where can they reach you, or how do they sign up?
They could pop me a mail at rob@intertalent.co.za. I'll be able to pick it up, answer any questions. If anybody would like to send demos, they're more than welcome to. We'll have a listen and we take it all from there. I think it's really cool what you're doing though as well. Artists really are the unsung, voiceover artists are the unsung heroes of the marketing world. They don't get enough recognition. There'll be big events for the best campaign and the voice behind it never really gets recognized. If there was no voiceover artist, it would just be pictures moving around on the screen. No story.
That's true, yeah. No audiobooks either. Yeah, we should start awards then. This is something to think about.
I think the voiceover artists deserve it.
Do the Luries not have a voiceover category in their awards?
They don't have categories just for the voice, as far as I'm aware. The voice will get their name up on the screen at the end, but no real here's the voiceover artist behind the project.
Thank you for talking with us, Rob. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Talking Voiceovers. If you enjoyed this interview, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell to make sure you don't miss the next one.